everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Champions of Performance Marketing. I'm really excited about our guest today. It's somebody that has a vast experience in affiliate traffic, especially in push notification and alternative traffic sources. It's Pierre Bertin, currently business development lead at Roller Ads Ad Network. And Pierre has vast experience in working with media buyers, helping them with traffic, optimizing campaigns, but he will tell us more. Welcome to the show, Pierre.
Hi, Julia. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
Good. I'm very happy to have you here. Really excited about this. Let's start with your journey. How did you start in affiliate marketing?
Sure. I started overall in the online advertising industry back in 2012, 13, 14, 10 years ago, a bit more than 10 years ago, let's say,
Okay.
right? And my first experience was at Google, in the Google office in Dublin, right? I was working for Google in the French market. And really what brought me to the affiliate marketing world after that was startup, a small company that needed, people with experience in online advertising, knowing what a traffic source is, what is CPC, CPM, the usual shebang, in order to help them, grow, the market. So that's how I joined, the affiliate marketing world. That was in 2015. A few experience at TikTok, Pinterest, and then I came back into the affiliate marketing world because I missed it so much. It's unique, it's fun, and it's great. So I joined Roller Ads about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I'm now the head of business development for Roller Ads.
Wow. So you have experience with Google, with Pinterest, with TikTok, and you come back to affiliate marketing.
That's right.
Joining.
Yeah.
Wow. So you have quite a experience there. What about your current role at Roller Ads? What you do there? What it does involve?
I manage a team of business development managers, right? And our role is to really grow the acquisition engine of Roller Ads, right? So we are in charge of getting in touch with affiliates, direct advertisers, but also agencies, right? And also publishers. And we try to match them, together through the Roller Ads platform. So that's our role. We are on the front line of the Roller Ads team.
Okay, nice. You work so much with affiliates, you said, but one of the biggest challenges they face currently, I think, it's matching the offers with the traffic, the right traffic. What's your advice on that approach? I mean, you have so much experience with traffic sources, I'd say.
Absolutely. And it's even more important for ad tech like Roller Ads, for example, right? We have a lot of different sources. We have a lot of different websites, different thematic, right? For each website. So some audiences are better for certain type of offers than others, right? It's completely different from what you have at Pinterest and TikTok, for example, which are just one app with one audience going into that. And it's much easier in some ways to sell Pinterest traffic or TikTok traffic than it is for Roller Ads traffic because we have a lot more interest that could benefit, affiliates. And the role of our team of our account manager is to help the affiliates match their offer with the right audience. And we do that with some presets, for example, that we have in our platform. A preset is a pool of publishers and therefore a certain audience that we know engage already with a certain thematic, right?
Like a certain vertical?
Exactly, like a certain vertical. So, for example, we have high tech list of websites, right? Whether they are apps or APK or anything like this, like Seth from Softonic, for example, who are working, with us and monetize their audience, on push. Those websites would be added into different presets for technology, for example. And so affiliates, if they are trying to promote an extension product, an app which is related to something like a software, like an antivirus, a VPN, or this kind of product, then this audience combined into that preset would be highly relevant, for their offers. And we have presets for a lot of different verticals, whether they are iGaming, casino, gambling, software, e-commerce, Nutra, and so on and so on. So it's very important for the affiliates to get in touch also with the account managers, with us, even though they can do it themselves on the platform. Use the preset then in order to select, the right audience for your offer, but get also in touch, with the account managers so that you can benefit from their knowledge, because we also have a wider experience, a wider knowledge of our audience, and we can help, the affiliate that way.
Coming to roller ads. So let's make it clear. What type of ads do you like ads format and do you promote? Right? Because I know push is mostly, right?
Absolutely. So we started with push notification back in 2019. We have since developed other formats. We have now pop traffic. We have direct click, which is also a pop under, but embedded in a particular button. It could be an exit button. It can be a play button. Anything like this, on the website. So it's a more engaged, audience, because we know that they actually stayed on the site and click on it. They are trying to interact, with it.
Okay.
And we also have, a native format that we are currently, we're currently building, our own supply. So that should be available for affiliate and advertisers pretty soon, within the next,
Wow. I
weeks.
didn't know you are going to native as well.
We
That's
are,
nice
we
to
are.
know.
Yeah. We've developed, we are an IT company, so all our developers are focusing, on this particular product, at the moment. It's ready. We are deploying it within our publishers who have websites. We are trying to gather an audience, a strong, supply, so that advertisers, affiliates, agencies, whenever they're going to start buying this particular ad format and this particular traffic, they will see, performance, right away.
Yeah, you need to have the back end in place first,
Exactly.
like the publisher and everything. Nice. And what about the verticals? You said that you have multiple presets on different verticals, like any vertical or specific ones?
So pretty much all verticals except adult, right?
Okay.
But I would say, the top three strongest vertical are probably the software vertical. So any product related to antivirus, VPN extensions, right, performs, very well. iGaming, whether
Okay.
it's casino or betting, performs, also very well. Especially, we see betting offers performing better in the LATAM region, right? And the casino in the SEA in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Malaysia, and so on. And we would have, the e-commerce or the sweepstakes verticals that are performing also very well worldwide.
Wow. Good to know. Okay, and now I want to find more useful tips from you for our audience, which is mostly media buyers. And what I want to know is from your experience. So you work with Pinterest, TikTok, Google, and so on. What's the best way for affiliates to test new traffic sources? I mean, to have a good media mix, because they always try to test different. What's your take on that?
It's so yes, media buyers need to test. We have a media buying team, as well as part of a separate business in our company. And the secret is to really diversify the traffic source, right? What works one day may not work, the next day. The performance, can go up and down. It could be because of the seasonality. Could be because publishers stop monetizing their audience, in the platform and so on. So really diversify your portfolio of sources. And also, whenever you do a test, go frankly with it. Don't put, just $50 or the minimum deposit, that is actually required. Set a proper, strategy. Have a proper budget. Listen to obviously the account manager that is working, with you, right? Implement the tracking that is crucial in order to optimize, and go with it, right? Go for it frankly. If you go with $50, for example, just to test, the traffic, the likelihood for you, for the affiliates, to get a conversion will be very small. Most of the ad networks, whether it's us or somebody else, we usually have huge pool of audience, right? It could be anywhere between half a billion people to almost 2 billion people, depending on who you're talking to,
Okay.
right? With $50, you are going to target, a very tiny portion of that audience. It's like fishing in the sea with a small fishing rope and trying to get a whale. It's never going to work, right? You might
Yeah,
end up, you might be lucky and you might get, a conversion, for that. But set a proper budget, right? Listen to the recommendation of your account manager, for this, and and give it, sometimes in the end it will pay off.
so listen to your account manager. The account manager is trained to help you out, right?
Of course. Look, at least, at Roller Ads, our goal is to establish long-lasting relationship. We are not looking for the one shot for, just grabbing the money from someone and then whether it works or not, thank you very much, goodbye. No, this is not, our mentality. This is not, what we want to do. We really want to work on a long-lasting relationship with all the advertisers that we start, working with. And some of them are with us from day one. Since we started in 2019, they are still there, still happy. We're constantly trying to bring new websites, new audience for them in order to make sure that their performance remain consistent.
Nice. Good one. Let's talk about push notification because
Sure.
that's what Roller Ads started with. What are they? I mean, let's explain for everybody to understand what are push notifications, ads,
Sure.
and I don't know what offers work best with them.
A push notification, it's like a message that is being delivered from your browser when you sign up on a particular website. So from a publisher point of view, when he wants to start collecting his audience on push notification, he will implement, a small tag on the website, right? It's very easy. It's very simple. It takes 30 seconds, and then you can start, monetizing it. It's a piece of code, JavaScript, that you put in the body, under the body tag of your email, and you have a service worker file that you put in the root folder of your website. These two will generate a small pop-up that you see generally on the website if you're on the desktop, on the top left corner, that says, do you want to receive notification? Right?
Yeah.
If you click yes, you become automatically an audience, part of the audience of that particular website. And it is this audience that the publisher can monetize with us or with anybody else. So once we monetize this, we can send ads to this person, and those ads will be sent regardless of whether the visitor is on the website, or not. It will come as a message. So, for example, on your phone, right? I can take some of them here. All these, I don't know if you see, all
Yes.
these are push notifications. These ones are not ads; they are from WhatsApp, Telegram, from Google Discover. Voilà. This is a push from Google Discover, actually, right? So imagine for an advertiser or an affiliate, this could be an ad from you. It contains, a title, a small description, pictures, and usually you have at least two buttons on it in order to bring, the people onto, or the visitor onto the
The
target
offer.
URL. It could be the offer, it could be a pre-lander, it could be like, again, you have different strategies depending on your product and what you're targeting.
And what niche do you think works best with this notification? I know you have traffic in all niches. So
Everything,
that traffic works with push notification in all niches?
everything works with push notifications. Push notification is the format that has the highest CTR. We are close to 4%. When you are at 1%, usually with native, and even less with display or other particular format. Emails, I think you're about 2.5%. But like push notification is really the most engaging format that you can find on the market, right? So everything works. You just have, as usual, right? You have to make sure that you match the audience with your product. There is no point, to send, for example, an antivirus offer to everyone. Not everyone needs an antivirus, right? Because they may already have one, or, so it's a matter of matching the audience with the offer. But ultimately, everything works. We have some offers. Some advertisers that are very happy in the iGaming industry, casinos, but also betting companies that we are working with, big betting companies, especially in Brazil, Latam, in the UK also. We have software companies, antivirus that are performing well. We have e-commerce, whether it's Lazada, Shopee in Southeast Asia that are performing very well. Tiki also in Vietnam. So sweepstakes worldwide, finance in the US also, even though in finance we have a lot more publishers. They are usually monetizing their landing pages with us.
Okay.
So we have probably a stronger audience interested in finance than we actually have offers in finance. And the offers would be more crypto, and, you know, financial products, that way performing probably a bit better than the mortgage or credit card loans or something like this. But we do have the audience for it, and it can work. Everything works on push.
Nice. And what key elements do you think affiliates should focus on to increase the click-through rate or conversion rate for push ads?
So one funny thing, if you want to improve your CTR, put some emojis. Emojis in your push notification. It increases the engagement rate by 20%.
Wow.
It's just simple, but it makes the push so much lively, so much more fun, and it performs. That's one thing. After that, the creative is also super important, right? Obviously, if you have a pictures that is kind of colorful, that is engaging, right, it will perform better than if you have just black and white logo, or even no logo at all, or no pictures at all, right? All these little things will improve your CTR. Do an A/B testing as well. We always recommend to upload up to 10 different creative per campaign, right? Our system will
Okay.
automatically rotate them so you can see which one has the highest CTR, and then obviously you can pause the one that are not performing and push the one in the contrary that are performing really well. That's the thing that you can do in order to increase the CTR. And then when it comes to the conversion rate, that's about the optimization and the retargeting that you can implement on your side, or the affiliate can do on his side in order to push for a conversion. So we would assist with the optimization based on the number of leads, for example, that you would have received on a particular zone ID. So we would help excluding zones that are not performing well, and then pushing traffic from the zones that are delivering leads and or registrations. And you can do that by increasing the bid, for example, adding multiple campaigns, adding multiple creatives, as well, right? And then making sure that we can retarget those people after that, in order to convert the lead into a paid user or paid subscriber. Depends on what product you're doing, but that's usually how it works with lead generation, with gambling, and all those products that we have.
So yeah, interesting. And for somebody new to push traffic, what's like your realistic budget for starting testing?
It's more like we usually recommend, so it really first of all depends on the geo, right? Obviously, you have
Geo.
countries and audience that are wider than others. If you target the US, we would recommend you to start with a $200 daily budget for at least 10 days in order to make sure that you gather enough data, and then be able to optimize, accordingly. So to start with, for the US, a budget of $2,000 would be should you should have enough data to then optimize, and push and get results. Would be more or less the same for larger country like like India, Indonesia, Malaysia, those countries, right?
So
Um,
2000.
yes. Then if you target, smaller countries, like in Europe, for example, France, UK, Germany, but also Brazil, for example, where the audience is a little bit smaller, then you can go from 100 to $150 per day. That should give you enough data to collect and then optimize, after that.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. And what about mistakes? I'm sure advertisers make mistakes. What common mistakes did you see making on push campaigns? And
Um,
mostly, how can they avoid them? Of course.
the first one is not listening to your account manager, right?
Of course.
Like, I mean, obviously, most of the people believe that the account manager are just like salespeople and they're just trying to grab money out of their budget. But no, it's really not like that. In fact, if you come to us with a product and we know it's not gonna work because we tested it before, we're gonna tell you no right away. We don't want to leave, affiliates or direct advertisers, agencies unhappy. That's not, the way we work. So first off, listen to your account manager when he gives you, some recommendation. Secondly, don't expect results with $50 or a very tiny budget. Okay. A lot of people are like, yeah, we're gonna test your traffic. We're gonna put $50 and then we'll see what to see. I mean, if you want to target Monaco for $50, fine. No problem. You have less than you have what 20,000 people in Monaco, maybe a bit
Yeah,
more.
I don't know. It's very small.
For $50, that's fine. You may get some result there, no problem. But if you target France, the UK, the US, India, $50, no, guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, we're back to what I was saying earlier on. It's like trying to find a bit in the ocean with the fishing rope. It's not gonna work. It's too small. So commit properly, do a proper test, right? If you're not ready, that's fine. Just try, to gather whatever you need and then come back to us whenever you're ready so that we can help you, be successful. But these are the two common mistakes that we see. Lack of communication, I would say, and the very low budget
Yeah.
for testing.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I can imagine that happening. I think I saw many people just starting and say, "Oh, I will try this out, but I will just put some small budget," and they don't learn or they don't want to learn. I don't
Exactly.
know. It's
Before, if the affiliate needs, some convincing because they're worried that, they would put $1,000 and wouldn't get anything, or like, I mean, always ask for some case studies, for data that we would have from other affiliates that are performing, that are doing, the same thing and that we know it's working, right? We can give that to you. We can explain what's working and what's not, right? We're very transparent. We're very honest, and we only want the best for every single affiliate or direct advertiser that are willing to work with us.
so. Would you be able to recommend like what type of offers they should get or some
Sure.
networks they
Absolutely.
should work with?
Yeah, we will tell you where to get them as well. We have another brand, for example, Roller Ads has a brand called CPA Roll, which lists offers that we have, right? So an affiliate can create an account on CPA Roll, take an offer that we know is working well, and then buy traffic from Roller Ads and other traffic sources, as well.
And since CPA role and roller ads are together, you know which works,
Exactly.
which
Exactly.
traffic works with what offer. Nice. And one optimization tip for push campaigns, something like, I don't know, you saw that it's often overlooked and I don't know, advertisers don't do it and they should do it more often and
So
make a big difference.
it's the custom bidding that is not done enough, and probably because it's time consuming. And yes, it takes time to actually optimize, that way, but it's super important. Like whenever, you get the traffic and you identify the zones that are delivering result or not delivering result, right? It's super important to actually use some custom bidding. So if a zone, for example, is delivering a lot of registration, right, and you're particularly happy and you want more traffic coming from this zone, don't be shy, to actually increase, the bid for this particular zone. Leave your general bid for all the other zones, that's fine, but increase, the bid for this one. And the other way around, if you see, for example, that you have a zone that delivers registration, but the leads of the registration do not convert into a paid user, right? Same, you can lower instead of completely excluding, these zones, And maybe for the time being, while you investigate as to why, it's not converting, right? Is there a retargeting mechanism in place in order to convince, this, to retarget, this audience and turn them into a user? Maybe try to lower, the rate so that you don't completely exclude, the traffic from this zone, right? Let it run for a few days. Maybe, the life cycle as well of the user acquisition is a little bit longer for this particular product, right? We never know. So yeah, lower, the bid in that case. So you still have, some traffic, coming until you actually have enough data to say, no, this zone is not working. And then you exclude, completely. This is probably one of the most overlooked optimization. Usually people are just simply excluding, adding, and that's pretty much it, the zones, but they are not using that leverage with the bids in order to make sure that they still have continuous traffic that delivers good performance for the campaigns.
So you are saying when you test, when you are in that testing phase at the beginning, you should not exclude completely a zone simply
Right.
because it didn't perform well in that period. Just decrease the bid and increase the bid on the zone that perform well, and still keep them there for a longer period to just test more, right?
Absolutely.
And get
Correct.
more data.
A lot of affiliates are very impatient, and I can understand that, right? Our industry is very performance driven. Whenever we spend €1, we want to see a return on investment of €2, right?
Exactly.
That's normal. Everybody wants that. I want that, as well. But sometimes you have to be a little bit patient, let, the system do the work, for you, let the account manager help you out, right? And really, take your time analyzing, the data and make informal decision based on the data that you have, not only on the short-term results that you got.
Yeah, data is very important nowadays.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about creatives. How important is split testing for creatives in push campaigns?
Super important. That's why, we really recommend for the affiliate to actually upload up to 10 creatives per campaign so they can rotate and see which one performs, better. You may have some inspiration on a day and create something that you think, might be really good, but immediately turns out that it's not performing, really well. So that's
You're
why,
not buying, the audience is buying.
correct. So that's why, upload 7 to 10 creatives, per campaign, get them to rotate, and again check the data, see what works and what doesn't, right? Exclude the one that doesn't. When something is working, try to replicate it, tweak it a little bit to in the creativity, in itself. Maybe change, the color or whatever, but keep the same thing, upload, and then test again.
And do you know, I mean, lately everybody is using AI to create these creatives. Are these AI created creatives better than the ones that are like manually created? Do you have an idea or something?
I don't really know, to be honest. I know that some of our publishers are using AI to create, content, and it seems that it's performing really well, especially with Google. So I don't see why it wouldn't, for push notification as well, right?
Yeah.
AI is absolutely fine as long as it remains within the policy of our company.
Of
But
course.
yeah, I think, it's good. Any little helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot, of course. And what about, since you're talking about that data, what are the most important metrics affiliates should follow, should watch when optimizing campaigns, do you think?
Well, obviously, the first one is the number of conversions, right?
Yeah.
How many conversions, you got, and then you go, in order. So the registration, the CTR, these are the main metrics that you have to look at, right? Look at the entire funnel of your campaign. You create a campaign, you use your creatives, or people, seeing them, right? Of people, first of all, or people getting your ads. If they're not getting your ads, maybe it's because the bid is too low, maybe because the targeting is too narrow, your audience is too small, right? Sorry. So that's something that you need to look at the next day after you create, the campaign, and then yeah, take it from there. Look at the CTR or people actually clicking on it if they receive it, right? Anything that is below, let's say 1%, there is definitely some improvement that needs to be done in here, right? Um, and then yes, how many registration and conversions you got?
Okay. And you said that your ads go also, your advertisers usually use a pre-lender or directly to the offer.
That depends, on the offer. Some offer performs better with a pre-lander, especially when it comes to, for example, the antivirus
Okay.
and the casinos, as well. Sometimes, it performs, better with the pre-lander. But otherwise, if you have, direct offers, especially when it comes to extensions, e-commerce, right? On mobile, for example, and you have a CPI offer, it's okay, to bring them directly onto the Google Play Store or the iOS, depending on the app in questions. But that depends on the offer. And I would advise again all the affiliates to contact us, get in touch with the account manager or even with our customer support so that we can answer, these questions. If you tell us I have this offer, can you tell me would it work, with the pre-lender, or can it work directly, and so on, and we will be able, to help you out, with that.
Yeah, because I can imagine you see many campaigns like that.
Absolutely.
How important is for campaign optimization for the affiliates to send conversion back to the ad network? Like for all our ads to get information about conversions, how important is that and what does that mean for them?
It's for us, for all ads, it's crucial, right? Because that's how we can help an advertiser or an affiliate optimizing his campaign. If the person running the campaign does not set up the tracking, we are blind and we cannot help him, right? Now, some people do not necessarily have a CRM. They don't necessarily have a tracking system, in place. They just do it, on their own, and it works, for them. Happy days. The only way that we could help them is if they provide us with the report on a regular basis, could be on a daily, weekly basis, right? So we can still identify which zones are performing better than others that we need to exclude. But without the tracking in place, roller ads, we are blind and we cannot assist, we cannot help the affiliate in optimizing its campaign. So that's why we always insist and we always push for them to actually set up the post back before even starting, the campaign, so that we can actually help him out.
So yeah, what you are saying is that if they don't send back conversions to the ad network cannot optimize the traffic, and you as roller ads will send the same traffic without optimizing it to send them more traffic that converts, right? Like the one that is converting.
Not setting up a tracking. It's like buying some traffic that you don't know is going to perform or not. So if you have a huge budget and you don't really care, happy days.
Yeah,
Come and talk to us. No
just
problem.
spend money.
Exactly, just spend money. But I mean, this time, I think, and don't get me wrong, you still have some companies that are like this, right? You have loads of them at Google. It's incredible.
I can imagine at Google, yeah.
You can't imagine the number of phone calls, especially at the end of the quarter, or how many people were actually calling saying, "Oh, look, I still have, X amount of money that I need to spend. Otherwise, I'm not going to have my budget for next quarter, blah, blah, blah." And so they
Yeah,
create new
this is
campaigns without.
usually happening for big companies with big
Exactly.
budgets, and they just are
Exactly.
not interested that much in performance, just spending.
Exactly. But for us, for the affiliate world industry, it doesn't work, that way. For every dollar that we spend, we want, $2 back so that we can
Yeah, it's based
live,
on
basically.
performance.
Exactly. So it's performance based, really. So the tracking is really important. It helps the affiliate know what he's buying and therefore making sure that he's buying, traffic that actually converts for his offer. Simple as that.
Okay, thank you. And now let's talk about like future and what's your perspective on trends coming up for ad formats. Maybe, I don't know, what trends do you see in the space of traffic?
Well, in the push notification industry, there is an ongoing uh, concern that is currently growing around push notification. Is push notification going to be there, forever? Are they going to die? And the short answer is yes, absolutely, it's going to be there. It's never going to die. It's a technology that is developed by Google and by any other browser, right? It's a browser-based technology. We don't have the technology. We don't create push notification. If you want, we monetize push notification. So we just add onto the framework, onto the push itself, the text and the picture. That's all we do. It's there and it's there, to stay. All the Gmail, all LinkedIn, all the apps, they have push notification. So that will
Yeah.
never die. It will always be there and it will always perform. Now it's getting, a bit more difficult to actually grab, the audience because Google constantly change the rules and therefore they always try to make it complicated for either people to subscribe or unsubscribe. So we have to adapt. There is ups and downs in terms of audience, whether with the size of the audience goes up and down. But ultimately, it's still there and it's still working and it's still growing. So there is no problem about that. When it comes to the other ad format, I think for any other ad network, it's important to diversify, and same for the affiliate and the media buyers. It's important to diversify the traffic sources. So for them, they can buy from other ads and they can buy from Google, Pinterest, and so on and Facebook. For us, I think it's important to be able to offer different ads formats to the affiliates so they can test the different ad formats for their offers and see what works best. So at the moment, it's only push, pop, direct click. Native is coming very soon, right? And I'm really curious to see how native, for example, is going to perform against push notifications. For example, that's something that will be really interesting.
That sounds like an interesting test. It's your media buying. You said you have a media buying team.
Yeah.
It's testing this kind of differences, or
Yeah.
how do they work?
So I don't really have feedback, from them, unfortunately. So I don't really know. I know that for some offers, for example, recently we've tried, Snapchat,
Okay.
but it's very recent, and for now the performance is not so it's native, right? And the performance for the antivirus offer that we tested did not necessarily did not perform, as well as we expected it, to be. But it's still, in testing phase. We still have to try, same again, different creatives, find, basically the right tune in order to make it work. But there is definitely, potential. So we will see, in the near future how we can make it work. My media buy team is excited about having different ads formats to test for the offers. Facebook as native format or display format is performing, really well for some of our offers, but we've done that for the past, few years, right? That's one of the first traffic sources that they did, so they know now how to make it work. So we're probably going to need a little bit of time as well, to test those different traffic sources and those different ads formats in order to really come up with some suggestion and recommendation.
Yeah, of course. After testing, you can have feedback. Now it's in beta, I think. One other thing I want to ask: do you have any insight? Maybe there will be like a minimum budget to try the native traffic on your side, or I don't know if I didn't. I don't think I asked if for push traffic it's a minimum budget the advertiser needs. I know you recommended a budget, but is there a minimum budget when they create the account?
No, no, no. There is no minimum except the amount that is being required by the payment provider, the payment processor. So if it's by card, for us, it's Stripe, I think, and they require a minimum amount of $50, to process for the payment. So that's the minimum that you have to put on the platform. But after that, there is really no minimum.
And do you think it will be like that for native as well?
We're gonna start, the same way with native, of course. We work on prepayment, so it's gonna have to be more or less, the same at the beginning. But then we will, as we grow and as this format is going to perform, we will probably change, the recommendation and come up with a better and stronger package for the affiliate and the advertisers.
Nice. Looking forward to it. Okay, we are getting close to ending our show. Let me know if you have one advice for affiliates starting now in affiliate marketing. Your top advice for affiliates. What would that be?
Come and talk to me. Now, one advice, I would say probably, select the offer that is close to you. That means, something, to you. Don't necessarily go for something that someone else is telling you that generates a lot of money, for them. Take something that you would be comfortable with so that you can be passionate about it and you can give it really the really best. And you can test it, the right way. If you're not into gambling, for example, don't necessarily start, with gambling because people have told you, oh, you can make a lot of money with gambling.
Yeah.
Okay, and that probably would be my best advice. Find an offer that actually resonates, in you.
Yeah, nice one. And do you think there is a problem in affiliate marketing industry that you would like to solve? I always like to ask this at the end of my interview, but I don't know if there would be something that you would like to change or improve in the affiliate industry. Something that
Uh,
bothers you or coming to mind?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things like we are a performance industry, right? So everything that we do is based on performance. So I always want to increase the number of conversions, the volume of conversions for my clients. And one way is to really understand the behavior of the audience that they are targeting, right? Now, matching, there are some data that are available out there, but with GDPR and with a couple of other technical, it's not that easy to actually be able to gather an entire database for our audience and knowing what are they really interested and when, because the when factor is also very important. You may need when you buy a house, you may want to buy it now, not yesterday or not in 10 years time, right? So if you're looking for a house, you need to be targeted with house offers right away. And that's data. We need to be able to find a way to actually gather that data. And that's something that we've tried, that we are currently, doing at Rollerads. We have our own surveys. We're sending, out questionnaires for people, to actually complete, fill up forms. We try to track them as well within the GDPR, framework and so on, obviously. And we're really trying to actually gather to create some kind of a persona for the audience that we have so that we know that these persons will be engaging with these type of offers and match that with an affiliate offers.
Nice.
That's something that we're trying to change and work on, but it's a
So
long,
you already take measures on that
yeah,
area.
yeah.
Are
So
you using AI at?
we do a little bit, but it's not as big as it will be bigger, in the future for sure.
Yeah, I think every company will implement it. I just wanted to know if you already started because that's
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
how
yeah,
it
yeah.
does.
We start with the creative right now, in rotating the creative, identifying which one is performing and so on. So that's what our AI is currently doing.
Nice. Good one. Okay, Pierre, thank you for joining me. Tell me, where can people get in touch with you? Because I'm sure people will want to talk with you or ask questions about roller ads.
Sure, they can find me on Telegram at Pierre Bertin,
Okay.
or they can find me, on LinkedIn, as well. It's pretty simple. So they can get in touch with me as soon as they want.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I will leave your contact information at the end of the article and then they will be able to get in touch with you.
Thank you very much, Julia. Thanks for having me, and thank you for the conversation. It was very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.